Hi, Squatties.
Hey everyone, we're back, and we wanted to make sure that you got a chance to actually hear what we were saying in our very first book club.
Right, and we apologize for the audio going in and out, and all the different issues. But we're working on that. So in the meantime, we're going to record the book club for you. So you, like Pretty D said, you know what we said. Okay. Thanks for laughing.
Yes.
But anyway.
No, but we wanted to make sure that, you actually had a chance to hear what we were saying and some of the points that were made and that were valid too by everyone who had joined in with us.
Exactly.
So we appreciate you guys for that.
And we want to say that the Sussex supporters are the best supporters on the planet.
Yes.
We were mortified that it wasn't working after we tested it.
And then we were like,
what's going on? Maybe this isn't meant to be. But
we're like, but we want it to
work. The gods are telling us no.
But girls, y'all better stop.
Exactly.
You're not ready yet.
You're not ready. This is not your genre. Get away from the light stuff. But the kind words that was said to us was so they were so heart-wrenching, and it kept us going through. Even if we knew it was kind of messed up and you couldn't hear, it kept us going through. So thank you so much.
Yes, we truly appreciate it.
Thanks for not letting us fail. Thanks for being so kind.
Yes.
We felt the love, and we just want to give it back to you. We love you.
And a special shout out to Miss Lydia Washington.
Exactly, for joining and
but actually she was really supportive.
Right.
And actually helping with some of the conversation
as we were going through.
So yes. I truly appreciate
her. Yeah. And then for all other podcasters who joined,
yes,
it was
Royal
so
Sussex
nice.
joined. Oh my gosh, that was so
Baron,
oh my gosh.
So, yes.
So
thank you so much, Ed. So here's a book club.
Okay.
And this was the agenda we had put up, what we were going to talk about.
So the first was the Society According to the Royal Family. Mm-hmm. Then it takes us into protocols. Mm-hmm. Then Harry's total recall. But we kind of went back.
Right.
And we touched on this a couple times.
Right.
The definition of a spare. Mm-hmm. The fateful day.
Right. That we lost Princess Diana. Her funeral.
Yep. And the impact to Prince Harry.
Yeah.
And how do you say don't talk to Harry?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Right.
And then his birthday.
2 weeks after his mom died, right?
Yep.
And then, the relationship between fathers and sons, normal and abnormal. How many people was in that marriage? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that other woman.
And then
the other brother.
Yeah, the other brother.
The brothers, but yes, brothers. But, kicking it off with the Society according to the royal family, I don't think they've ever left the Victorian age.
No.
I think they're still, it's Bridgerton behind the scenes.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Bridgerton. But not on a nice, funny, loving level.
No, it's on that snooty, like almost Pride and Prejudice. What's that?
Evil
Mr.
level.
Bingley's sister.
Exactly.
That evil level? Yeah.
Right, because it's like you have to bow. You're bowing to your betters.
Right. Or you can't even talk to someone without being introduced.
Exactly. And so they did that in public. And we thought, that's so nice, they're bowing to the Queen. But no, behind the scenes, if you, for instance...
You're the grandchild going to visit your grandmother.
You better bow to her.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. You need to know who the different levels and who to bow to when you don't have to bow to them. For instance, if Harry is not with Meghan...
Right.
She had to bow to all of them.
Right.
When she's with him... She didn't have to bow to
They had to bow to her.
Yeah, some of them had to bow to her. She only had to bow to the Queen, Charles, and that's it. And Harry had little Mr. How would you say what he says about himself? He's naughty. Told Meghan who not to bow to and who to bow to, according to him.
You're like, nah, you ain't bowing to them. I don't even bow to them.
Exactly. He's a trip in the book, y'all. But anyway, so
that ties into, all these made up rules and things of propriety.
Right.
So they have these things called protocols,
supposedly.
Exactly. So the bowing to family members. no lowering of the standard?
The standard is the one that will have the griffin on it, and it's red and yellow.
Okay.
Gold.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has 4 quadrants.
With the lion thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and whenever the queen is in residence, it's always flown.
Okay.
And it's never to be lowered ever. Maybe when she passes, I don't know.
And that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But when Diana passed, people were calling for them to lower it to show some respect.
Right.
The media was doing that to rile up people, because the media was trying to cover the fact that they were the cause for Diana's, that the media were going after her.
Exactly.
So they
had to take the heat off themselves
right.
and say, how come the royal family aren't doing anything?
Exactly. They're so cold and whatever.
Right.
They almost could have caused that whole monarchy to be overthrown.
It could have fell then.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people were like getting ready to shake Buckingham Palace gates down. And finally, when the royal family realized, oh, we better do something, and that's when they listen to you, when they think they're going to lose it.
Right.
They put up the flag, and then they lowered that.
Okay.
Right.
So, and then, okay, what about this crying?
Yeah, the other thing is crying. You don't cry in public. People should never see you cry. That was the ethos of the family. Crying was not an option. That's sick.
Because, I'm sorry, you just lost your mother. You
Right.
should be allowed to cry.
You should be allowed to cry, but no. There was no hugging, no touching, no, maybe, I don't know, maybe they were afraid, maybe because of Lord Mountbatten and what he was doing and all those other pedophiles in the family. Maybe that's where the no hugging and touching
Well,
came
yeah,
from.
don't hug that. Don't hug them.
Exactly.
Okay, just bow.
Yeah, maybe that's what that came from. But the coldness and from those protocols led to Prince Harry being traumatized.
Yes.
And abused, yeah. And one of the things we loved about Prince Harry was his memory.
Yes.
And the way he could articulate. He was saying that, and I think it's because the way he was told about his mom.
Yes.
He was traumatized, so he lost all of his early memories of her. He just set it aside to save himself.
Yes.
You know,
the hurt, the
hurt, the pain.
Exactly.
And he had to go out there and
he had to be in the face of public. So
the public.
This is how his coping mechanism
did.
Yes.
And because of that, he was saying that he's going to try to remember dialogues and different things, but if you went into space and he was in that space, he could remember everything in that room.
Yes. And it's amazing how your senses change and you focus, and
exactly.
he had a hyper focus to notice his entire
surroundings. He would say down to everything, down to like a thumbtack or carpet tack.
Wow.
I could tell you stuff. And it's sort of the way they train people in the CIA. You go into a room and you remember, okay, what are those 9 people doing?
Right. And who was positioned where?
Where?
How was the doors associated? Where was the exit? Look at the photos.
Yeah, what are they doing with their hands?
Right.
And it's not like you looking around like studying. You go in and you take a glance and you sit in there and you observe everything and you get it all in. And
it's it's almost like a photographic memory.
It's like total recall and to react. So I thought that was really interesting, and it kind of gives you
some premise to why or how
how that helped him enough in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, the whole title of the book, Spare. So he goes into the definition of it, and it literally, he says, I was the shadow, the support, the plan B. Yeah, and even from his parents, even Diana told him, you're the spear. Trying to not let him, set up for disappointment. But I'm sorry. I was brought up to provide backup, distraction, diversion, and if necessary, a spare part. Yeah. That's some messed up shit.
Yeah, and so Willie is what matters,
right?
And you're the spear.
So if God forbid Willie gets, drinks too much and takes his kidneys out,
we gotta take yours. And the thing is, he was, he loved his brother so much that for him, that didn't matter,
right?
And he felt,
that's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, this is my family, and he's like, I might be a spear, might be treated a certain way, but other people might have it worse. Who gets to be a prince? Not a lot of people grow up saying, I want to be a prince or a princess. And he's like, here I am, a real prince. So I don't have it so bad.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. Your emotional self-worth and your, how you feel about yourself, that's all affected.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And to be psychological in that manner.
Right.
So then it comes down to what kind of the beginning and the shift.
Right. Exactly.
So that fateful day.
Right.
So the news
when his memory kind of like shifted,
shifted to this point
right.
to give them those other abilities. But how you talk to your children about death. Mm-hmm. There's some do's and there's some don'ts.
Right.
And, I had to, because of what Harry went through and how they told him, I'm like, let me look this up. Let me see what they actually say you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So in the case of one of the things, tell the truth about what happened right away. Not later, not after the fact.
Yeah.
Not a made up story.
Right. Not saying, oh, there was an accident. Oh, she went to the hospital. Oh, there was a head injury. No, because all these O's,
it still gives a possibility of hope.
Yes, and a child's mind is going off into different directions. And you don't want to do that. You need to come right out and say, your mother has died. Your mother is dead.
Yep.
Then
she died in a car accident.
Yeah, how did she die? She died in a car accident.
There you go.
Exactly. And if he wants more specifics, she had a brain injury, whatever, and she was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead.
But you tell them at their level,
right?
But you tell them the truth,
right away. And you ask them questions.
Yeah, so they understand.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you understand what death is?
Right.
Yeah.
And
do you understand she's not coming back? Yeah.
Right. And give them a chance to cope with that and cry.
Exactly.
All the emotions that come with it.
Right. And pick him up and give him a hug.
No, not the touch of the knee.
In fact, when when somebody tells you I pass, I want them to play with your knee.
That ain't right. That ain't right. Oh my goodness. Well, I know, right? Well, clearly, Charles.
This man was messed up.
Look, Charles did everything wrong.
Yeah.
Chucky. Yeah. The one thing that I caught out of the don'ts.
And you're going to say, my sister. You don't have to say,
my mama.
You're going to get no hug. This is a mess. But anyway.
No, but so the one thing that, out of that same article, what they say you should not do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't avoid connecting with your child because you feel helpless or uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Or don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. Trifling. He was trifling. He didn't care. And it was callous. And he pretty much just pushed him back off to school.
He hated Diana.
Yes, he did.
His mother hated Diana. Princess Anne hated Diana. They all hated her. Why? Because she spoke her truth.
And she was popular.
Exactly.
And gorgeous.
Yes. Now, if she was...
And... No, sorry.
If it was his...
Go ahead. If it was his...
Carmilla, he would have been a little bit more emotional.
But he wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was just...
And that's why he fantasized. That's why he created this fantasy of his mother hiding.
Yes. Like, oh, she's just doing it to get away because he knows how much...
horrible it is for her. Right. Magical thinking.
Right. So, the day of her funeral, they dragged that poor boy out and made him walk behind her coffin.
Yeah. Now, at the time, I don't know if you noticed, but William was upset at Diane.
Because William is a trip.
Because she was dating that dude.
Yes.
And he could possibly have been the future king's stepfather. He did not want that.
Oh no, the horror of someone of color?
Exactly.
To be my stepfather?
Yeah, so he did not want that. He would have cut Diana off. And so I'm sure he was sad, but I don't know how much sad he was. But I think Harry was tormented. Harry was... he was a baby. I'm sorry. He was a baby. And everybody who saw those pictures said, what's going to happen with those two boys? We're going to take him. We're going to take care of him. And we're going to watch over them. But Yeah, you don't know what's happening behind castle walls. You think someone's okay, but you don't know. That's why it's, you can't talk about people.
Right.
Because you see them in a certain way and you see their behind, closed doors. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
And behind closed doors, that boy was being abused.
But the only person in his life who was thankfully engaged was his
his dispensers.
Right.
Yes. So the next one was
no. So then, so this is the funeral happens. They literally shut everything down. Went back to normal.
Yes, 2 weeks after. Oh, less than 2 weeks after.
Yeah,
the boy was back in school after 3 days.
Yes, 3 days, and told directive by the Buckingham Palace to not touch Harry, not talk to Harry, don't give him hugs.
Right.
Who does that?
The royal family.
That's some sick shit.
And this was at Ludgrove, they used their matrons at that place as surrogate mothers.
Right.
To hug them and different things. To say that, and he didn't even have that surrogate mother to do that, that's awful.
Yes.
I think it was one friend who told his mom, we're not supposed to talk about it or anything like that. And she said, bollocks. And she went and told him she was sorry about his mom and gave him a hug.
Exactly. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And exactly. I bet you he remembered that to all his life.
Oh, absolutely.
But, it's interesting, though. So it's 2 weeks after she had passed is his birthday.
Right.
So it's just to have that kind of harboring reminder when,
Right. So what is he now? Going 12 years old?
Yes.
Yeah.
So big into games. And,
right.
Yeah.
Who showed up for his birthday party?
His Aunt Sarah.
Right. Where was Charles?
Where was his brother?
It was his brother. Where's anybody else in that royal family?
Exactly.
Nobody was there.
Yep.
Only
Aunt Sarah.
Only Aunt Sarah showed up.
Yep.
And that's why we see him so. You were saying how animated he was at the
statue unveiling of her statue at Kensington Palace, and he sees his Aunt Sarah, and he just does that little jig, and he runs up to her.
So, yeah, because William was being all formal, shaking her hand and everything. Yeah.
It's your aunt.
It's your aunt, but he's a king. He's the
whatever,
future. Yeah,
whatever. You're
exactly.
ugly. You're bald.
Yeah.
That's why we snatched those look back.
I'm so glad that Spencer's look says, see you later.
Yes. But so it's the same Aunt Sarah who brought her hair.
Yes, a lock of her hair.
To Harry.
Yeah, and what?
And it's the same Aunt Sarah that brought him his Xbox.
Yes, exactly.
So if people wonder why was he playing video games, the connection.
That's the connection. That's his mom. Right. And I think that's the same Xbox he had in his palace adjacent cottage.
It is.
You think? Okay.
He's not going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
So speaking of, as we transition, so we're talking about the relationships in the family.
Right.
Who showed up for him.
Right.
But who was supposed to be there?
Exactly.
This fool right
here.
This
fool, Charles was not there. It's like they showed us in the
90s
in the pictures, and I believed it too, because I saw him with his father in pictures, and I was like, oh wow, look at him, he stepped up and he's taking care of Diana's kids. No.
Photo op.
Yeah, the poor guy was in a boarding school.
We need a photo op. His popularity's down. We need a photo op.
Exactly.
Bring out the boys. I'm going skiing. I'm going with the adulterer.
Yeah.
But, no. Let me get a photo with my boys.
He said there was like fleeting moments, but then mostly they just coexisted. He had trouble communicating, trouble listening, and trouble being intimate, face to face.
Yep.
And over a long multi-course dinner, I'd walk upstairs and find a letter on my pillow saying how proud he was of him.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, Nisi has a receipt that his father loved him, like he could pull it out. You have no receipts. I never wrote you
I don't need no goddamn receipt. I got my receipts. You say it to me, right? I hear it.
You say it. You do it all the time.
It's the actions.
Exactly.
Not these little fake words.
Yeah. And the other time, I don't know if we talk about it later, but when he needed more popularity and he took him to Africa with the Spice Girls. so he could get. It was all for his popularity. It wasn't anything to be with Harry.
But Harry did get the benefit out of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, getting introduced to Africa and the Spice Girls.
Yes, yeah. So we have to say that his after Diana, his he had a tormented youth.
Tormented youth. Mm-hmm. Everything for a distraction for Willie went on to him, and he's just trying to get through.
Surviving. He's just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're treating him like...
Yeah, a spare. Yes. And then he said his mother's math was wrong when she said how many people were in this marriage.
Yes, my mother legendarily said there are 3 people in her marriage, but her math was off.
Right.
She left Willie and me out of the equation.
Yes, there were 5 people.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. She should have said that, but I think she was more focused on the adult relationships.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah.
No, and she would always count Willie and Harry as...
But if she had counted all 5 of them, maybe the public would have responded a little bit differently. Hey, there are kids in this marriage.
This is true.
Yeah, and this adulteress, this interloper, this coho.
Yes, coho. She's a coho.
She needs to go. So I think,
she had the nerve to wear white.
Yeah, and be right up front there.
Mm-hmm. Trifling.
Yeah. Didn't he sleep with her before, the night before?
Sleep with her before.
Oh my God.
Well, he'd been sleeping with her the whole damn time.
Yeah,
so
the whole time.
Yeah. And I'm telling you.
Yeah. The other woman, what she had done to Camilla, she played a pivotal role in the unraveling on their parents' marriage. She did, yeah.
Yes.
Because she wanted to control Diana. She wanted Diana to be the little mouse. You stay there, you be the wife. And you show up for the pictures. And I'll have everything in the background.
Yes.
And this way, she knew that Dinah did that. Like what we see going on with the other brother.
Right.
He could get rid of her anytime he wanted.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, of course. The queen would have given him a...
she would have gave a green light.
No, she wouldn't have given the green light. Not if Diana didn't have other people.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No. She would say, oh, no. You're not divorcing.
No, that's what she said.
Yeah.
She did say that.
Yeah, at first. But then he set Diana up,
Yes.
But,
because he knew he was trapped.
Yeah.
In his little mind. Mm-hmm. When he should have... Why did you even marry her in the first place?
Yeah.
But God knew we needed Prince Harry.
Exactly. But, this woman, and then when he talks about his father, how he had such a torn childhood. I mean, at some point you got to say, you know what? Yeah, my childhood was messed up. Not all of us have great childhoods,
Right.
Not all of us have everything. This man had everything. He was the future heir. Pretty much he was spoiled.
Since day one.
Yeah, and maybe his parents wasn't as warm as him, but at some point, you have to cut that shit loose, and you got to get some therapy for it and said, this is my reality.
Right.
And you don't take it on to the next generation.
Yes.
Pass it on to the next. He passed it on to Harry and
William.
Yeah, he passed it on because he was absent, and when your son had to talk about you had this little teddy that you had it as a young man, and you taking this teddy with you every day. This is a crutch. He needed
He needed help.
Yeah.
He needs some help. He needs some psychiatric
yes.
help. Mm-hmm. I know they're trying to not believe in all that, even though they did what was it? Heads Up.
Yeah.
And Head Fit and headbands and all
for
that.
both of them.
I'm sorry. For them, it was just about the headbands.
That's all they wanted.
They only wanted.
Yeah, heads together. And they made her, they said, oh, she came up with it. And then they made her explain it. And she said, head fit. Heads together. And you could see Harry looking at her like, bitch, come on. You ever see Harry have those looks?
Yes.
I'm going to do a montage of Harry with those looks and Meghan with the look. You know when they're judging people?
Yes. And it's real subtle, but you know that look.
But you know that look like.
And she had that look from day one. Remember that picture of her with them glasses?
Exactly. And there's one
on that golf court. Looking at the people like, what? Wrong with you?
They're bored out there judging people.
Woo! Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So it brings us now to
brothers.
Man.
Yeah. Now we asked people what they thought, and they, a lot of people gave us their feedback. But what kind of brother knowing that you both just lost a mom, because he went to Eton first,
right,
would say to you, when you show up, and Harry had a video of it too. He said, "Here I was when I showed up at Eton. I thought I have my big brother here. You're going to look after me, but all he did was ignore me." Remember that interview?
Yes, I do. And he was like,
he had his head bowed, look under. He was kind of smiling. He didn't give a crap about Harry.
No.
He wanted to be in control, in charge, whatever. And who would say, and this is what he said, pretend we don't know each other. Pretend you don't know me.
And I don't know you.
And I don't know you.
That's some fucked up
And that's
shit.
how he lived at Eton. Didn't even look out for his brother. How you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Check in on him.
Yeah.
Make sure nobody messes with him.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And people put them in the same building, the same dorm, thinking that, they need to be there because
they're brothers.
They're brothers, yeah.
No.
And again, then the hierarchy was in place. William was on the top floor up there, upper floors, and Harry was on the bottom. And that's when he decided, you know what I'm going to be? I'm going to be the mess up. I'm going to be the naughty one. I'm going to be this.
I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
And it's not like anybody's checking me.
Exactly. Nobody cares. I'm the spare.
Because Pa's over there doing who knows what with Teddy.
Exactly.
And the cow. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And my brother, he's going to be here. Nobody cares about me.
But I do love this, though. Think it'd be helpful if they put us under the same bloody roof at Manor House.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we're hoping that, and a lot of people said, some, their thoughts and everything. And one of the things someone said, and we kind of touched about it in the book club when we were doing it, is that when we were trying to do it live, is that why did they have that difference in how they told Harry and how they told William? Why didn't they tell them together?
Yes. Why were they told separately?
If they had told them together, they could have bonded. There was a bonding moment.
Yep.
They could have cried together.
Yep.
And they could have talked about, well, how do you feel about it? Make them sit there and talk about it. Because later on, his brother said, I was thinking it was fake too, and he had that magical thinking. But you know what? That boy lies so much. I don't think he had that magical thinking at all. Yeah. No. I think
he just said that to get sympathy because he saw Harry getting sympathy.
Yeah, I think he could have said something to Harry and both as a younger brother.
Right. But you know what though?
Yeah.
He's always been that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? This is not anything new.
Right.
But even when Harry was a baby.
Right.
Baby Harry's coming up giving his brother hugs.
Mm-hmm.
But what is Willie doing?
Running off.
Pushing him off.
Pushing him off, yeah. And the thing with he had to be in control, and that was ingrained into him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the fact that they treated him like a spear, even in telling him about the death of his mother.
Yep.
That to me, and he just laid there for how many hours? I don't know.
But still, it's just horrible.
Yes, horrible.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, thank you for listening.
Yes. And we already know what we got to do about our book club.
Yeah. And the next one, hopefully we could have some more dialogue and get some more feedback from
everyone, and have more interaction. So we're looking forward to it. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.